Did you ever get that cue? Did you ever get called a genius?
No.
TellHimSteveDave.com. And hey, got a request, the Blaze of Glory, going in. I don't care what it is. Tell him, Steve Dave.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Tell 'em Steve Dave, the rock and roll daddy. How are you doing? You've been rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it was rocking and rolling. Went up to the big city, which I detest.
The big city itself or going the trip there?
Both.
Being there you detest.
Yeah, I hate being in the city. I hate driving into the city when I have to drive. I hate, like, even if somebody drives me into the city, I hate it. Something about it just doesn't mix.
You can look across the water and see from your house and you can see the city. Do you hate that?
No, because I'm like, oh, look how far away it is. Nice.
Good.
I don't know why. I know. I do know why. It's just awful. It's just the traffic, the chaos of trying to maneuver amongst the streets. And my GPS is forever wanting me to turn down one-way streets.
Well, Tom.
Yeah, It says turn left, here, and I'm like, well, you can't. It's a one-way street. I can't turn. So then I'm like,
so you're talking to your GPS.
So then I'm like, so then I keep hearing the GPS tell me route recalculation as I'm like driving around, and then it's like turn here, and I'm like, well, I can't turn there either, and then I can't turn down this one because there's so much construction. I can't turn down this one because there's a giant truck, and so the next thing you know, I'm a mile away from where I was, and it's just terrible. I hate it. The sacrifices that you have to make, though.
For the kid, and you said there are 30 bands. Now, did you watch all 30?
It felt like we did. We got there, and it starts at 7. We get there about 5 to 6. It's cold. You got to wait out the line. Of course, you got to wait, and it stretches all the way around the city block.
You got to pull the Walt Flanagan card, man. You got to do it.
And we get in, and it is a huge I don't know what you call it. I guess a festival of all these bands, and there's 3 different stages in the venue. So all the acts are playing at the same time. So you got to the people there, you got to pick and choose which band you're going to watch. And certain bands are, relegated to, I guess, they're upcoming bands, and then there's some,
they're on the little shit stage.
And the big band was Modern Baseball. I think that's what it was.
Oh, I love them.
Yeah, me too. I too was just like, I didn't know what it was. But my daughter's there to see Nicole Dollenganger. I think that's how you say it. Dollenganger. She is gaga. She made her a present. Like, she painted this acrylic painting of her. It looked great. I mean, I know that's like dad saying it, but right. I think she can.
You're like, it was almost as good as my Patrick Sundstrom painting.
But I can say with that she can paint better than I can paint.
Really?
Yeah, she has a way. I mean, I know that sounds just like my kid's a genius. No, I
don't remember that.
Did you ever get that cue? Did you ever get called a genius?
No.
But by your parents, I meant. They had to at least once.
Even mistakenly. Talking about a different brother and saying your name.
But I can say with no bravado or she truly has I think she could do something probably with it with her art skills. She's evolving that quickly. But she paints this picture. She also makes this like box that has like this calligraphy. Mm-hmm. She writes on the box. It looks like it's printed on the box. It looks like it was like professionally printed, the box, but she did it all by hand. She has all these. She's out and out like.
It's a full blown obsession.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I think so.
Worrisome?
No. No. I mean, come on, man. Look back at when I was her age. I had my Kiss posters. I had my Kiss shirt. I would write Kiss on my hand, on my four fingers, KISS. She's not doing that.
I mean, what your parents must have been thinking. They're like, do they think like the band Kiss, or are you just writing like Kiss? Like, I wish someone would kiss me. Like, I'm into kissing.
No, I had the swastika S's, so everybody knew.
Oh, the Stormtrooper SS's.
Yeah, so right. Everybody knew what the kiss on my hand meant.
I'm not looking to kiss any girls. I'm not gay. I'm metal.
But she's so into it, and she like I think like a lot of people though do this. She's looking for moments too, though. Like she wants like this. She wants it. It's not just enough to go see her.
Right.
She wants to give her the present. She wants to have a moment.
Right.
And I'm like, you can't expect that to me. I'm trying to like. You really shouldn't be expecting this. You really are like
hope for it.
Don't even hope for it.
Oh, you're saying don't want it.
I'm not saying you don't want
Moments
it.
are meaningless.
But like, because it's so difficult. You know, like I said, it's like 30 bands, 20 bands. I don't know how many it was. There's a lot of bands. A lot of people. What is this girl's obligation?
The singer.
Yeah. I mean, if she performs that's it. And if she happens to if you are able to give her the gift, and if she does say thank you, and you do get to snap that picture, that should be enough then. But that might not even happen either.
Which happened the time that I went with you guys. She was very accessible, that lady,
yes.
That girl. Very accessible.
And I guess she was expecting that same kind of level of accessibility.
Oh, but it was much more crowded.
Well, it was a lot more crowded. I mean, it was jam packed. I had a guy she wants to get real close to the stage, and you're able to just maneuver wherever you want in the room. You can go real close to the stage if you want. Mm-hmm. So she was the second act going on, Nicole Gallenganger, and so the first act performed, and as soon as they're done, she makes her way. She wants to be right up close, and I was like, go ahead. I mean, you're small enough. Get in between there. You'll be able to get right up there. Just, use your size and your pencil thinness to.
She's slim, that one.
Yeah. She's wearing like black stockings. It looked like fucking Jack Skellington making his way up to the like
stage. Halloween.
So she's and I'm sitting in the back with against the wall, which is like, and the room is very small, so I'm not real far away.
You're writing Kiss on your knuckles.
And I think that I'm the oldest person there. From my POV, I don't see anybody nearly as seasoned as I am there.
He's aged.
Until a guy walks up to me, and he goes.
Is he now your pal?
Well, yeah, he stands up to the wall and he goes, I know you. But he really doesn't know me.
Right.
He knows, he's seen the show, but he doesn't remember my name, though.
Mm-hmm. I've gotten that before. They're like, oh my God, I love your show, Walt. I'm like, oh, it must really.
Which is fine. And he goes, this is so cool. You come out for the show. And he goes, I love your show. It's a great show. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. And the band hasn't started yet. So I don't have to scream to talk to him. And this guy's getting the moment that my daughter was hoping for. because
you're his Nicole Dollanganger.
Because he's got me, and now he's not paying attention to any of the acts, and he's talking about comics, and he's talking about Kevin's movies, and which is cool, whatever. But at a certain point, there's really nothing left to talk about. And he goes, so I imagine you're here for modern baseball. And I go, actually, no, my daughter's here. I go, I'm just here because she's here. And he goes, really, who does she want to see? I go, oh, the one who's going to perform like in a second or two. And he goes, oh, really? He goes, what, then you're out of here? Then you're leaving?
What, are you crazy?
I was like, hell yeah. I said, yeah. I mean, if she's ready to go.
At this age, do you think I sit around for modern baseball? Of course I'm going to. Guy who's clearly here for the rock concert.
And I'm like, why is this? Like, I know I mean, I look like I'm there by myself to everybody, but this guy apparently definitely is there by himself because he has no agenda to move on. And he goes, oh, so you're just going to, so you're just like, as soon as the act's done, it's like, hey, we're in the car and we're driving home. I'm like, yeah. He goes, because I mean, yeah, man, right? Because you probably like, man, I got to get home, man. I want to smoke some weed, right?
And you say that to you?
Yeah, and I go, huh? He goes, I mean, you want to get home so you can chill out and spark up a joint,
get your
right?
smoke on.
And I'm like, and then I don't
have an inspired character on Comic Book Men. That's all you talk about, right?
And I said to him, I go, well, after tonight and after fucking the ride up here, I said, I'm going to have to stop on the way home and try and get a rock. I said, because I fucking, and his face was like, he didn't get the joke. And it was like he had heard something that was like so stunning to him.
Like, I'm going to call TMZ right now. Waltz on the crack rock.
And I said, I'm only kidding. I said, I could tell by the look on his face and the shock and the silence that he had thought he had heard something like super privy.
Right.
Like that fucking guy.
You're telling a stranger. A complete stranger. He's like, I wanted a moment, but not a moment in which someone
confessed to being a crackhead.
And he's going to drive his daughter home.
I just got to make the stop, Alicia. I got to see if this guy over here is selling any crack.
Yeah, somebody's got to have some fucking rock. Somebody's got to, right? I just got to wrap my lips around that glass stick. I'm going crazy over here. Modern baseball's not on. I got no crack.
But the GPS keeps telling me to turn.
Tom's fucked me the whole way here.
So I go, no, man, I'm only fucking with you. I said, I don't do drugs at all. I said, man.
Now it looks like you're overcompensating.
I said, I haven't done a drug since fucking Reagan was in office. I said, and he goes, yeah, right. He goes, I need a joint though. He goes, I need a joint bad right now. I go, all right, I'll see you then. I go, why is he telling me this?
So do you think the whole thing wasn't like sort of working his way into like he obviously has weed with him, so
I have no idea.
And if you need a joint that bad, why wouldn't you bring one? Like, why do you go to a concert and not prepare ahead of time with at least one joint? If you're like, I'm dying for a joint, I need a joint so bad.
I couldn't tell what connection he was like trying to make with this weed connection. And usually,
he's an undercover narc.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But usually, I'm like, I don't like to talk about it, or I don't like to, I don't really ever get into my. I'm very anti-drug. But I really don't like to, because I realize other people, it's your choice. You do what you want to do. I don't care. But like me personally,
it's not for you.
It's not for me at all. I don't have any, and just and for my circle around me, like at home, not a chance.
No crack in the Flanagan house.
Nothing.
No rocks.
I haven't had a fucking prescription. I was thinking about this after I was talking. I don't think I've had even a medicine prescribed to me in almost 20 years.
Not even for
nothing,
like no antibiotics, nothing.
I don't think so.
Really?
I'm trying to think back. I don't think. I mean, maybe when I had a flu, maybe. But it's been so long since I had the flu. I don't know the last time I was even at a doctor.
I do, like 4 times in the past week.
I'll say so. I'm real. I don't do any. And I understand that and there's people listening who are like, it's their thing, but like.
Well, that's where I level it out a little bit. Yeah.
So now also I'm dealing with a kind of a self-image thing now lately with the that I'm a goofy fucktard. So on one hand, I'm like, whoa, this guy thinks I'm cool enough to be fucking Grasshead. So, maybe I'm not as fucking.
I mean, I'm not cool enough to know they don't call them grassheads, but.
They don't call them that?
No.
Ever?
I've never heard. That's literally the first time in 49 years I've heard the word grasshead. I mean,
so I didn't,
stoner.
Yeah, I didn't break out my, I didn't get super defensive when he implied that I was going to go drive home and spark up. I didn't break out my dude. I didn't get all fucking what's it called?
Oh, indignant?
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of was just.
Yeah, well, that was big of you. I mean, I'm sure the conversation would have really taken a turn at that point.
Well, why should I care? If he wants to fucking sit there and force me to have a moment,
right?
Then why doesn't he get the real me then?
Yeah, it's he's not, again, with your daughter, this isn't the moment I expected, but it's the moment
It's still a moment.
Yeah, it's the moment I got. I got fucking the male Nancy Reagan in my face.
Yeah, I didn't break it out. And I would have normally, like I said, but now coming off a couple of weeks of being some real, some harsh criticism, maybe, I took it, maybe I'm looking for any kind of cool.
Any sort of validation.
Cool cred, yeah.
Right. I'm surprised you didn't admit to being a grasshead then. You're like, oh, of course. I'm going to spark up. What am I, some kind of buck-tooth fucktard?
No.
I mean, clearly you can see I'm not.
Teeth are like this because I smoke too much grass.
Yeah, I'm always like, all that inhaling is pulling my teeth out.
So she performs. And the guy finally does leave, and I go out. He was on the make to I guess locate that elusive joint he needed.
Right.
And then she performs the girl who my daughter's there to see, and the merch table where her merchandise, her shirts and her CDs and her vinyl. It's just this little card table in the back of the room.
Right.
That's where you assume that the band is going to go and try to sell some stuff after they just perform, sign some.
Then you realize that's their stage.
And so I text my daughter. And I'm like, because she's across the room. I was like, so what's the deal? She's like, the person selling the merch says she'll be out in a few minutes. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
Cut to.
Yeah, cut to 6 bands later, and I'm like, and I'm texting her, I'm like, come on, man, she's not coming out. And then she texts me back, well, somebody said that she went to see another band performing in one of the other rooms. And I'm like, all right, well then leave it with the person that's there selling the stuff, right?
She can't have it be anonymous.
The person selling the stuff was the guitar player or something, or a bass player or something. Okay. He was cool, and he was like, I'll make sure she definitely gets it. You don't got to worry about it. And I'm like, well, I look at her and she gives me that look of I don't want to give it to him. I need to give it to her.
Right.
And so it'd
be like if somebody wanted to get something to you and they have to give it to get 'em.
But you know what? Give it to get him is guarantee. Well, is going to guarantee it's going to get to me, though.
Right.
I mean, he could not deliver it. He has that level of.
He would text you immediately.
Yes.
And start bothering you about it.
So then the guy who's behind the merch table leaves, and I'm like, we had a chance to give it to him. I go, you should have just given it to him. And I go, we could have got out of here at 8:00. It's 9:30 now. It's 10:30 now. It's like, I go, we could have got out of here. We could have been done. And I'm like, the last band comes on. That's
you know how old
room.
You sound when you're like, it's 8:30 already. I mean, that sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, but she doesn't care about the other bands.
Right.
She's not even paying attention. Her back is to the stage the whole time as she's just staring at the merch table, waiting for this person to come back so she can give them this present and this painting she painted.
I do enjoy the subliminal merch table ad you keep doing.
Final Cast 1 and 2 now available.
Yes, indeed.
Second pressings, but these will be the last pressings.
No more after this, huh?
And no more. We'll be offering it in a different platform. But no more on vinyl.
Yeah, not to say MP3 because that's not going to be the way it is. It's not going to be through Bandcamp.
No. But, well, maybe. I don't know. That remains to be seen. We have to figure it out. We don't know yet. But, yeah, merch table, tellhemstevedave.com if you're interested in it. Order them now. You might get them before Christmas.
Probably. What's say the 15th?
Yeah, I
10
think that'd
days.
be
Merch table's pretty good.
If you're in America, I think it's a good chance.
Yeah,
Treat yourself.
I keep getting emails about the tariffs and taxes and all this other shit.
I mean, we can't change fucking European law, though. I mean, there's nothing we could do about it.
And I doubt Merch Table's willing to put everything in a gift. I used to do that for people, though.
Yeah, but I mean, they have a bit. I mean, they can get in trouble. I mean, they're not going to do it just because we ask them to. It seems.
Well, what if we tell them to?
You can't. I don't think you got to follow the rules.
Pretty
of the
powerful,
law, man.
Says you.
So I say to her, the last band announces that they're coming on, and they weren't a bad band. They were called Alex G, I think they were called, and I was kind of spacey guitar.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and at least, one thing I will say, like, thank God, my daughter at least likes a harder music than I thought she would, than a 14-year-old girl would. And not that it's hard, but it's like at least there's a fucking guitar in it.
Right, it's not like boy band type stuff.
Yeah. So he
Fatone. Sorry.
So he come out, and I'm like, and then no one's at the merch table. Tell him SteveDave.com, and it's the last band, and I say, look, I go, you just got to have to leave it on the table. I said.
So the guitarist isn't even there anymore?
I go, and also what I got to give it up to this fucking crowd of kids that were there. Mm-hmm. I got to applaud them. I tip my hat to them. They did not like her merch table wasn't the only table there unattended with merchandise on it. Nobody touched it. Nobody tried to take any of it. It was like, to me, I was just like, man, that's a level of respect, and that I'm shocked by. I mean, people were coming up to my daughter and being like, can I get this? Because they thought she was selling the shit because she was there for so long.
And were you so tempted to be like, just sell it, man?
No, not at all.
Well, maybe they noticed you noticing them scowling. And that's why they're like, well, he's clearly like security or something.
No, I don't. I mean, believe me, security there.
Non-existent?
No. Very, very, very big presence, and dudes that will fucking look at like they will fucking squash you like a bug.
Big burly.
Big dudes. Big dudes that, like, when they say, yo, you fucking stop too, and you're fucking standing erect. And you're like, I do not have anything. Search whatever crevice and fucking cavity you want, sir. Mm-hmm. Please don't hurt me.
Now, when you say, yo, I think I know what you're talking about. I got you.
No,
wink.
It was a diverse security group.
Oh yeah, they had some Muslims, some Jews, some blacks and whites, a couple Mexicalis in there. Don't lie though. I mean, like, you have two burly guys, right? One right next to the other. The black guy's like, yo, and the white guy's like, yo. Don't you just look at the black guy more like he's going to fucking destroy me than the white guy?
No.
Like if you were to get into a fight.
Well, no, because they're both huge, and if the white guy is fucking everything that is tattooed except his fucking eyelids, and they may be if he closed them.
Yeah, he hasn't blinked.
I don't think that there's a chance that either one of them couldn't just take their fingers and fucking just flick me away to the side.
Could you imagine, like, they thought you said something that you didn't say, just like Alicia watching as these two just toss you around like a rag doll? Like one of those, because they always seem like, you always see those videos where like they're these overzealous bouncers that like punch somebody and kill them with like one punch. I'm just like, who is that fucking like upset at a door that people are like, hey man, let me in the club, and they're like, pow.
Well, these guys are walking around. We were standing by the merch table so long waiting for this artist to come back to the table that at a certain point, like the music's playing, and like when it's playing so loud, you could feel it on the ground, like moving a little bit, like the boom,
right, the bass.
But I felt something else. I felt a weird feeling next to my feet, like a boom. And I was just like, that did not. That did not.
Oh my God! There's no Islamic fundamentalists in the house.
No. It was somebody had collapsed in front, right by my feet.
I told you I needed a joint. You didn't listen.
And I look, and I'm saying to myself, is that someone? But there's so many people around, I can't tell. And it's dark, right. And I'm like, is that somebody on the floor, like 4 feet in front of me? But I can't like touch them physically because there's so many people in the way. Uh-huh. And plus, if I'm going to be moving my hands around. As people they're all by everybody's butts and everything. I'm not doing it.
But why are you trying to reach through the crowd towards them? Because
I see somebody on the ground. It looks like that's collapsed and nobody knows it.
Oh, you're trying to get your camera phone in there to video them?
No, I was going to try to help them up.
Just kidding around. That's what everyone does now. I can't tell you how many like videos I see where like there's been a major car accident and there's people like on the ground groaning. There's like 500 people with cell phones, just all recording like human misery constantly.
So I look around and then thankfully, I guess this person's friend, I can't tell if it's a dude or a girl, but it's like, looks like they're like 14, is on the ground and not moving.
Like, don't worry, it's just a tranny.
Don't worry, Alicia. It looks fine. No, that's horrible. But this person, I can't tell because it's dark and I can't tell because these young kids, they like it. What's it called? Androgynous?
Yeah, like a very androgynous look.
So they're look like a Bowie look.
All right.
And they picked them up and their face, you could just tell by their face, they're like in a.
You're like, see if it has tits.
Q. That's uncalled for, right? Q.
Oh. It's got a couple things dangling down here.
Hey, got a request. The Blaze of Glory. Going in. I don't care what it is.
I'll be happy with whatever I find. I'm horny. I'm dying for a joint.
So I can tell by the look. I've seen that look. Not very often. I don't see it very often, that look where the eyes are just gone.
Oh, like that like neurological, like. Yeah.
It is a scary look when you look at somebody and they can't.
They're unfocused.
Yeah, they are not on this level of this plane of existence. They're in somewhere else, and everybody is yelling. Get her outside! Get her outside! Get her outside! She's gonna throw up. Everyone's so worried she's gonna vomit, which is a concern now. I'm like, too, because I didn't think of that. And I was like, well,
she puked all over you.
I don't want her puking on me.
The whole ride home. You walk in, you're like, hey, Deb, I'm a hero. I saved what I think was a girl. Could have been a boy. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The puke's all the same.
And they get her out and they move her away. So that was like the only time I looked at my daughter. I go, what do you say to that? She's seeing people pass out now. She's at a concert where people are passing out.
Right, but it could have been because of
there was a bar.
So crowded.
There was a bar there.
Right. I mean, I guarantee they're pretty stringent with like the bracelets and all that.
Well, this person
unless somebody was buying it for
this person could have been 21. I said they look like they're 14, but they look people at that.
Isn't
age.
It like once you pass a certain age, you're just like, I don't know, everyone just looks younger than me. I have no idea.
And then the fucking act, the final act announces this is going to be our final song, and I'm like, oh God, there's I look at her, I was like, we got to go. There's nothing you can do. And she starts crying.
Oh, man.
Starts crying, and I'm like, all right, we'll stay.
I mean, really, unless it's like Frankenstein or In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida or like some like bizarrely long song, what's another 3 or 4 minutes, right? And
I said, all right, we'll stay to the end then. And then I go, but like I said, at the end of the song, we got to go. You got to just leave it there. And she's like, well, someone's going to have to come back for this merchandise. So we'll wait till they come back.
She's 3 steps ahead of you.
And I'm like, you don't know when that will be. I go, we will stay. And she starts crying again. I go, we will stay until one of those bouncers over there says we got to go. Just stop crying. Mm-hmm. And so she stops crying. And the final song is wrapping up. And then that artist she's waiting for came out. And thankfully, she got, I guess, the moment that she was hoping for. She looked at her painting, told
the Nicole girl eventually came out at the end, at the very
end.
Oh my God!
At the very end, and she like
That is Alicia like, I told you.
she did.
I told you.
No, she didn't, and thankfully she wasn't like. But like thankfully I was just like, all right. I was like, I just conceded but I was like, I was convinced that like,
Your eyes were looking in different directions.
Yeah, I was convinced though that it wasn't going to happen, but she did come out. She was nice, and she,
She must recognize your daughter by now, right?
Well, it's only the second time she's seen her. I mean, how many? You think about it.
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean, you had 6 concerts lined up, but this girl keeps getting sick.
Yeah, and think about it. Like somebody there's guys who come in here and they're just like, "Hey, I was here last year. Don't you remember me?" Mm-hmm. At the store. I came into the store last year, and I'm like, sometimes I'm truthful. And I'm like, no, I don't remember. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I remember. How you been? But
don't you hate it when you do that and they call you on it? And they're like, you don't remember. And it's like, well, then why the fuck you bothering me with it?
That's difficult for me to like, unless something happened other than like we took a picture.
They're remembering one person. You're trying to remember a year's worth of people who have come through the door. Maybe some stood out more than others, for like you say, for whatever reason. But yeah, you can't be expected to remember that many people. There are people that I'm embarrassed when I don't remember them. Like I went to an IJ show and there was some girl that was there and she was like, hey, and I'm like, hey, not knowing where the fuck I know her from or what her name was. And it turned out like I was on the cruise with her for a week at the IJ show and she's like, I can't believe you don't remember me. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I should have it. Like I should have remembered her.
Right, but I don't expect, and I don't have any like to me, the expectations should be, you pay your ticket, the performer performs, you go home. If you happen to get like a picture with them, great. But like, I don't expect her to remember. She performs all over. She's got to be seeing kids like this in every city she goes to. I don't expect her, especially like a little tiny little girl. I mean, there must be hundreds of them that she sees, during the week.
Yeah, true. Do they all bring her shit though?
I don't know.
I mean, Alicia brings her some pretty involved stuff. Oh, do they? Oh, that's right.
I think so. I think her fan base that are like really into her. Like there's like certain things like she likes like doll heads.
Right.
Like these like, Victorian doll heads, but it was nice though. She definitely gave her enough that like she was on the ride home. She was happy until she got sick. I guess she was so like worked up.
Right.
Fucking she got sick on the way home.
She threw up on you.
Not me. No,
you goddamn tranny.
We had a McDonald's bag. She was able to fucking like we're in the Holland Tunnel. I'm like, you're gonna have to just do it in the fucking bag or whatever. There's nothing we can do.
Was she dehydrated? Maybe.
I think she was just all worked up. I think she was just so like the anxiety level of like she's like it's not so the last song is announced and she looks at me with those eyes like she knows the last song. She's like it's probably not going to happen, is it?
Like you fucked up.
It's not my fault. I mean, I did everything I could. Oh, I guess I don't know. I mean, I could have been one of those obnoxious fucking parents that are like. Like that demands, but like, who am I? Like,
why say here?
Yeah, like that's not.
I paid money for this ticket.
Yeah. And that's all you get is the performance. If you're lucky enough to get something else, then great. But I don't, like, I could never pull that kind of fucking arrogant douchebag attitude of like, you owe my daughter something more than this.
Do you think you notice it more now being on the other side of the camera, say, than you might have otherwise?
No.
Because there are a certain number of people, Q, you'll agree with this, that feel that they're owed beyond the product that you've put out there. Now, with Tell 'em Steve Dave, it's a little different because it's a community. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, I mean,
and I don't feel that way about comic book men though. Like when I go to a con, it's a big difference if I see an ant versus if somebody just likes the show. And I like that they like the show, but I just don't have that same sort of connection with them. You know what I mean? Like I'm probably not going to go out of my way at all.
Well, the connection's made because they've listened
when they
to
hand me $20, taking a picture like a fucking donkey in Mexico. Like people take pictures of donkeys in Mexico. I was thinking of that the other day. They pay money to do it. Like somebody will paint a burro And that's basically what me and Ming are doing.
Yeah, you're fucking two-man.
Couple of burros. Fucking jackasses.
But I don't know if I don't think I ever could pull that kind of entitled parent card. I've seen other parents do in other situations. Not there, of course, but like in other situations, it's like, their kids' feelings or trump whatever else is going on. It doesn't matter,
right?
And I don't think I could do that. I never have. I don't think I ever would.
And even for yourself, like it never occurred to me growing up. I mean, it's just a different world because people are so accessible via, like they might answer you via Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever.
I think that's what makes it even, as people who are on like our performers or celebrities, or when they converse or communicate now through the internet, it adds more expectations, I think, and more feelings of a connection that maybe isn't really there, or maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like sometimes people write in their bio on Twitter, like somebody, a famous person, they like retweeted me on this date or answered me on this date.
Man. I mean, you can't deny that a lot of people, like it could be so meaningful to somebody to have like Kanye West fucking retweet them. It could be like their whole year, right?
Kanye West, yeah. It could
really could be. I mean, it could be the difference between like it could mean the world to certain people.
Oh, there's nothing I like as much, Walt, as going through the Audible podcast copy. It's so succinct. I mean, come on. Everybody knows what it is, right? It's books you listen to on your phone or your do people even have iPods pretty much?
I have an iPod.
Yeah. My mother's constantly carrying around an iPod and her iPhone for years now. And I'm like, why?
Because you don't want to bog down your iPhone with all the music.
But she just listens to Josh Groban. That's the only thing she listens to. Well, and I don't think he has over fucking 30 gigs of music unless she's listening to it in like the highest like FLAC form possible or something.
I carry around my iPod and iPhone.
Do you?
Yeah. It's not that big a deal. It's not that heavy.
Yeah, but you don't need both though, right?
Yeah, but you're talking about carrying something that weighs what? Like 4 ounces?
Maybe.
And you're making it sound like she's like carrying around, like she's got a
I haven't mentioned her Kindle, her Nook, her fucking laptop, her second laptop, her iPad, her fucking Amazon Fire, whatever the fuck. Yeah, her parasitic twin. She
sounds like a woman of the early 2000s.
She buys so much.
I should laugh.
So much. You should laugh at her. She buys so much electronic shit. And then it like has no idea how to use it. Years later is like, oh, that's how you, make a playlist. Like, yeah, I guess she is like you. So yeah, it's pretty weird. But anyway, okay. So Audible, you can get it from Amazon or Audible app or whatever. Well, what do you get? Membership includes 1 free audiobook a month, 30% off, other ones, free apps, download and listen. Come on. You all know what it is. Stop making me say this over and over again. You can send books to people. You can share audio excerpts from your favorite listens with anyone. Can you imagine clipping something? Like taking the time instead of just telling someone to clip it. Maybe it's easy. I don't know. And send it to somebody like, you got to check this out.
Well, what about this as a Christmas present? Could someone buy somebody a free, their first month of Audible?
Yeah, probably. I don't see why not. People were doing that with the Christmas, the Tell 'em Steve Dave Christmas thing. They were gifting it to each other. I thought that was really nice of people.
Oh, it is. But Audible isn't a one-time thing. Like people now I'm on the fucking hook every month. What, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I don't think people will be gifting that. I mean, unless there's got to be an innovative way to gift the audio book to somebody this Christmas.
Yeah, just go and torrent it.
No. Go to Audible, sign up for it using our code.
Right.
And then gift that membership to a loved one. and bring the classics to life for them.
You don't love them so much that you want to get them a ring, but you love them enough that you get them the Audible. Gotcha.
You know, you know how many classic books I've never read, but I would like maybe to hear?
I find myself getting distracted very easily, like when I try to listen to books. The last book I listened to that I was like riveted the entire time was Norm Macdonald, based on a true story, because he reads it. Mm-hmm. I cannot, I'm not just saying this because of Audible, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's so fucking funny.
I think the last audiobook I listened to was by a comedian. I brought Jim Gaffigan's Dad is Fat. And it's a different type of read though. It's not like him doing a stand-up. Mm-hmm. So there's no audience, there's no laughing. So it's a very different experience of him reading his book than him like buying one of his comedy albums. Mm-hmm. It's different. I'm not saying it's bad, but I mean, it's definitely, it took me a while to get used to. You know, there's a different afflection of the voice when rather than doing his stand-up routine than him reading his book.
Did you like it, or?
I did like it. I mean, I could have got rid of it, but I kept it on my iPod.
I'm surprised you didn't send any clips to me, as you can do.
I just figured out a playlist about a couple months ago. You figure I know how to do clips.
Yeah, that's true. In 2026, I'll expect a Jim Gaffigan clip.
So, well, where do they got to go?
Where do they got to go? Shockingly, I don't think it says it on here anywhere with all this shit. I'm sure it's
audible.com/TESD.
No. Audible.com/TESD. And for that, you get the free audiobook and a 30-day trial. It's pretty worth it. I like it.
Oh my God. Speaking of like on the level of like, I don't even know if it's appropriate because I don't
say this, but I'm the Kanye West of the stash.
But I saw something that like it almost brought me to tears in terms of like fan celebrity connection or something. I was watching Monday Night Football, and there was before the game they had a story about a kid, like a 9-year-old boy who has his body's being ravaged in his head and in his spine by tumors.
Okay, I thought you were going to say by like some child molester. When you said his body was being ravaged, I was like, oh shit, where's this going? Why would they talk about this?
I don't even know why your mind goes to that immediately. But he's a big New England Patriots, especially Tom Brady fan. I mean,
well, 1 in a million, huh?
Well, I mean, this is well, you know what? He's going to make you go like, there's another level.
Right.
And he loves Tom Brady, and he's adorable though. Adorable little kid. Talking like they're showing you videos that he sent Tom Brady about him, inspiring him, what the battle he's going through with the cancer, and he's got all these surgeries on his brain that he has to have.
Right.
And his doctor's being interviewed, and the doctor goes, I was, literally brought to my knees, shaken when there's a lot
of sexual innuendo going on here, dude.
when the kid, the little boy, said, "While you have my head open,
right,
and you're performing a surgery on me, can I request that you carve into my skull Tom Brady's number?"
How old is this kid?
9.
That's maniacal. That's not fandom. That's crazy.
No, he wanted to do it as like a way, like some sort of like totem almost, to like help him with his fight. So the doctor.
Oh, he would think he thought it'd be a good luck charm.
Yeah. So the doctor was like, "It can't do any harm. It can't hurt him or anything." And so I'm thinking like, well, why don't they just tell him they did it?
Right.
And then fake the X-ray. Like, just like the Photoshop.
The doctor's like, it's just way easier to etch it into his head, probably.
Yeah, but they took like the stencil of like it wasn't just a number 12, like a generic number 12. They had the picture and they kind of like put it like, like when you have a overhead projector.
Right.
And they kind of put it on, and they put the image onto his skull, and they carved it into his skull.
That's nuts.
I mean, but like
that is nuts.
And
man.
then they show him the X-ray of it, and it's like, and he's like super jazzed about it. And then they show him like Tom Brady getting the video of this happening, and of course he's like, you got to come see me. You got to come to a game. And they show like, they show you stills, which I thought was really classy. Like they don't show you, they don't have video of what was going on in the room.
Right.
They have stills of him hugging him and like
ravaging him.
And I was just like, I'm watching it and I'm like,
You start welling up?
it was crazy how touching it was. And then they show you that night, like this had happened like previously. That night, the boy was at the game and he's not doing as well as, as you're hoping. And he now has to go, he's in a wheelchair now, but he's at the game. And it's so cold out too. Like the Patriots play outside on a Monday night game.
Oh my God.
So this kid's on the sideline. It's got to be like fucking
just so you know, right now in Jersey, it was like 10 degrees today.
And it was like, doesn't it feel like horrible?
I want to shoot myself. I know it would be easier to get on a plane and go to Florida than like actually committing suicide. But I step outside and I'm like, oh my God, I can't take it.
Now think about this. It's 9:00 at night and the game's not getting over to midnight. And that kid's going to sit on the sidelines and root for Tom Brady. And Tom Brady had an amazing game. So this kid must have been so psyched. To me, it was like one of the, like there's so much shitty things going on about celebrities and everything and about football in general. That was a great story, man. It made me
well, of course it's Tom Brady who's going to do it though. Like he's
not Tim Tebow.
He's no Tebow.
Like in terms of like, I'm sure he's still a great dude in terms of like charity. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, he's not particularly known for it, or maybe he is, and I'm not aware of it. I just happen to be watching. I never watched the pregame of anything, but I happen to be watching this one, and there was a story that. I mean, I don't know if that's something he does commonly, or he did it just because of how powerful.
He's like, every time a kid gets my number etched into their skull, he's like, I'll take a moment with him.
I was like, talk about that guy that fucking got tattooed. TSD makes, the world takes.
Right.
I mean,
he's in perfect health. He got a shitty hockey jersey with the wrong name and too small for him. But see, I respect that guy. I respect that guy more than I respect Tom Brady.
But I mean, so if anybody's ever considers if you're ever having a surgery and you ever get TSD, like carved into a bone, we will fucking treat you right.
Yeah, we'll give you a time. We'll let you sit out in 10-degree weather for 3 straight hours. That's fucking crazy, man.
But like, what do you? I mean, this is a dude too that's like Tom Brady is on another level. Like you can't. He's on a level of like
he's like a rock star of football players. Rock
star, yeah, definitely like an iconic person now, where he will go down in history as one of the greatest all time players at his position. It's arguable. Some will say Montana and Manning, but who
was that Dallas guy too? There was a guy in Dallas,
Troy Aikman, Roger Staubach. I mean, there's these guys, but he's on the list of like all time, like maybe the greatest ever. And to put all that with like those looks.
And the girl and the money.
This is a dude that is fucking blessed beyond like blessed.
And you got a kid. That's how you know there's no God. Because you got this fucking guy over here. You're like, he wants for nothing. And there's a fucking sickly 9-year-old in a wheelchair freezing his fucking balls off with a fucking big incision in his scalp being like, I don't even know if I'll make it through the game.
No.
That's my lifespan could be that short.
But I also don't want to you just don't want to say that Tom Brady popped out onto this planet, and did everything that he did with absolutely no effort. I mean, there's plenty of like super, super hard work and dedication and determination and just to over and over perfection that it just doesn't come from, you're just not like, you just can't have that just by being lucky. You got to work at it too, though.
Well, I mean, it's a combination of luck, talent, the right time, the right place, all that
being with the right team and being with the right coach. You never, who knows what would happen.
Yeah, having the right parents who,
But what does it feel like to fucking get a video and have someone say that to you like a kid? It's got to be
I don't know.
the most
Do you think anyone has a
ever.
sick kid from Tom Steve Dave that we could look like champs? Is that where you would where do you draw the line in terms of like, hey, it would mean so much if you could do blank? Like we get invitations to weddings. I don't want to go to weddings
almost weekly.
I don't want to go to weddings of people I know, let alone people I don't know. That's not going to happen. We got an offer as the comic book men to go do a birthday party in North Carolina. And the fucking woman was it was some kid's party who like comic book men. She was fucking like Michael Corleone. She's like, my offer is this, nothing. Because she's like, no money, no flight, no lodgings, but he loves the show. Now this is the parent you're talking about. He loves the show. Like, why wouldn't they just do something like that? And our manager is like, are you fucking?
Okay. So I never heard of this. When
no, it never made it to to our table because the lady was like, she did, she was going to offer nothing for us to go to a kid's birthday party. Basically, like, I mean, you don't fly, so what's it, like a fucking 12-hour, 10-hour drive, whatever. And it's also just like, why? Why would we spend our time doing that? Like, do you realize everyone here has a family of their own? But
I mean, you know what?
That's where that entitlement comes in.
But if I happened to be in North Carolina and like and let's say the kid was like, not like that, not that gravely ill, but like, something was wrong or it would, after seeing that, but I would want to make sure, damn sure, because people come in here with their kids and are like, my son loved your show. Say hello. And they're like,
who's this?
Yes. It happens. It happens a lot. And I'm like, this kid doesn't know who I am. Has never seen a show. Why are you maintaining that he loves us?
Right.
When I know for a fact, I can tell by the indifference in his face, he doesn't care. That's what I'd be scared of. I would be so like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go, I'm going to make this effort. I don't even need any money. I'm inspired by seeing a lot of things on.
I saw this Tom Brady thing the other day.
Let's do this. What's a couple hours? And then I get there, and then he's like, and the kid doesn't react, and the kid doesn't care.
And then you're explaining to all the other adults who you are.
That would be my nightmare scenario. Yeah,
that's Bing's dream scenario. He just gets to fucking show up and tell people about himself. That's fucking nuts. Did you see the video of the preacher, the minister guy telling, he went to some mall telling kids there's no Santa?
No.
It's this old crotchety fucking minister guy. Hold on. I'll look up his info right now.
And what's that? Because he's maintaining that kids are more concerned about Santa Claus than they are about the real.
Shockingly, yes. He's like, it's Jesus's birthday or whatever.
And you people are.
And he's at the mall. You just yell. Like, kids are like, what the fuck's going on? Like in the video, you can kind of see them.
I imagine he may be having some issues.
He's an Alaska radio evangelist. Let's see. Let's say. Okay, so he's an Alaskan street preacher, which means basically homeless person who rambles on about God.
Yeah, he must be, like I said, even before you even told me, I said he must have some issues. I thought maybe he was ill, mentally ill.
But I thought I thought it was in Texas. He invaded a Christmas village in Texas and started yelling, "There's no such thing as Santa Claus. Santa Claus does not exist. The Christmas season is about Jesus." The 56-year-old said he went to the mall to preach the real biblical meaning behind Christmas and exposed Santa Claus as a falsehood. He also shouted there is no flying reindeer or workshop. I mean, so he pretty much debunked the whole Santa Claus mythos.
Yeah, that's dangerous in Texas, man.
I cannot believe. Well, he's white, so I think that's probably why he didn't get shot. But he's like, the man you're going to see today is just a man. It's a man in a suit dressed up like Santa. He also called out the parents to stop lying about Santa. And
like, who are you going? Like, who you? I mean, like you said, he must have. Like I said, he must have some mental issues. Because how many people you think you're converting with this form of preaching?
Let's see. He posted a 3-minute video of the encounter. He said he's received dozens of death threats because of Santa. He said he made a video while visiting family in Amarillo, where he used to run a ministry called Repent Amarillo. He's not an official pastor, although he's twice served as an associate pastor, and said he does his preaching on the street with his wife. Bet you she's a hottie. The couple preaches at football games, strip clubs, bars, and Mardi Gras celebrations. We saw that even when we went to the LA, the Stanley Comic Con in LA. There were a couple guys out there, and they have like their signs with the Bible verses and shit, and boom boxes with preaching and stuff. And I always wonder, like, what exactly is it? Like, that's like, what is it? What is it like in life to find a problem or fault with absolutely everything? Like, it's either like in comics, it's like,
oh, they were against comics.
They were against something. I don't know what it was. They were against something to do with the Comic-Con, or you go to Mardi Gras, or you go to because. Well, it's
fucking Samson and Delilah, isn't it?
Well, Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, or Samson and Delilah, depending on who you're cosplaying as.
But like, you could see why some conservative people would be like, this is like, why isn't everyone turning to salt?
Because it's the easy answer is because a bunch of non-conservative people have agreed that in this space, we're going to walk around and we're going to drink and we're going to flash some titties and we're going to throw some beads.
And we're going to vomit and we're going to defecate in the streets and we're going to urinate all over everybody and let's have a good time.
Right. But
that's just against the law. That is against the law. They can't change the law just because people want to do it.
But no, what's against the law though?
Urinating and defecating and showing
depends. Are you in New York City? Because you can do it.
Where is it? Las Vegas?
Well, let's say Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras? Where's that?
It's in New Orleans, right? Yeah.
It's got to be against the law to flash and to openly do 1 and 2.
A lot of people puke. That's an issue.
I guess that's not against the law.
But again, you're talking about people who have it's a societal contract that if you're going to be in this space at this time. Now look, if you're walking down Bourbon Street in the middle of June, flashing your tits, you're probably going to catch some shit. But people have agreed that during this time,
an unwritten rule, it's okay this day, but not this day.
This week maybe, not this week,
but not next week. If you do it next week,
right,
you're going to go to jail.
Well, yeah, you might get in some trouble. And even then, as long as it doesn't get too riotous, then, the cops mainly, I found that I've never been to Mardi Gras, but I've been to Fantasy Fest with Q a couple times. It's basically the same thing, just down in Key West. And it's very relaxed environment until Friday or Saturday. Then people come in from Miami and it's a whole different story. But if just like that bridge that Quinn was like, you're never going to go to that Berkeley. You're never going to cross that bridge, right, Quinn?
Right.
What do you care? So why would the conservative people care if these people are flashing titties and drinking beers and pissing on each other? Which I've never seen, just for the record.
They're so drunk that they're pissing on people passed out in front of them. I've seen it. Not in person, but I've seen it on cops.
You saw it on cops?
Yeah, they just urinate wherever, and they don't even look down where they're urinating. And there's somebody passed out, and they're getting urine all over them.
Again, part of the societal contract that it's like, look, if you drink so much that you pass out, and you're on the ground, chances are somebody might piss on you, even mistakenly. You just don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to get that drunk, right?
Yeah, but I mean, against society has said you can do it though if you want to. Today's the week. If you're going to get so shit faced you might pass out, well, this is the week to do it.
It's like the
no
purge.
Repercussions.
Yep, it's like the purge, man. The 1 week where you're allowed to go do this stuff.
And we have seen though that people will take it because they can't handle that kind of freedom. Some people can't.
A lot of people can.
A lot of people can.
Yeah.
And then they fucking. They wake up and in their fucking urine soaked.
Why do I smell so weird?
They didn't see any titties.
No, yeah, I don't remember. I don't recall any titties. And now my beads are all gone.
Yeah, and they got hepatitis C
from piss in the mouth. You see it with sports teams though. As I see a sports team lose, right? Like a big game,
right?
And they burn the city to the ground. Usually Detroit.
Oh, after a championship.
But that same sports team, if they win, they burn the city to the ground. It doesn't matter. I've always
not
wondered
every
about
city though.
It's a lot of cities.
I mean,
it's definitely Detroit.
Well, Detroit. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. When's the last time they won like a major?
It's probably been Pistons? A while. It would be the Pistons.
Early 2000s. Because I don't think the Tigers have won, and we know the Lions have never won. Well, the Red Wings, they won recently. But hockey's different. Although in Vancouver, when they lost the Stanley Cup Finals,
they tore it up.
There was some.
Those are Canadians.
Yeah, shocking. It was they took a lot of bad PR for that, Canadians, because they're not known to act like Americans.
Yeah, like fucking wild animals just because their fucking team lost. So yeah, so what do you do? Your girls are obviously old enough now, but you're at the mall.
Oh, when this preacher comes?
Some fucking weird preacher comes up and starts yelling all this shit. What's your move?
I don't know if I would just be like, I would just tell him flat out, I was like, this person is suffering from some sort of delusional episode. Mm-hmm. And, so you don't believe, you can't believe anything he said. I mean, he's not right in the head.
Right.
Santa Claus is real.
And your kids would listen to that?
Depending on the age, yeah.
They're like 18. Well, hold on a second. Let me, we'll get a little sample of him yelling. See what he sounds like. See how you would, because he came in hot, it's not like it was a slow burn. Let's see.
Upset.
Oh, hold on. Of course, there has to be a fucking commercial before fucking everything. It's the fucking most irritating thing on earth with videos now. Someone's like, hey, let's monetize it. And then you got to watch a 30-second fucking commercial. I don't want that. What the fuck, man? Okay.
Hi, it's Pastor Dave Grisham here for Last Frontier Evangelism. And today,
all right, that's what he looks like.
In Amarillo, Texas, and we're going to tell the children here today the truth that there is no Santa Claus, and that
this guy's just being a dick.
About Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus was born in a manger 2016 years ago.
He's lucky he doesn't get his face crushed by some angry dads or like.
Folks, my name is Pastor David. Kids, I wanted to tell.
That's so
gross. To your children and tell them there's such a thing as Santa. When you know in reality that there are no flying reindeer, there is no workshop.
Where's mall security?
Pole. There is where's
the yo guy?
Where is the fucking yo guy?
That's all the truth.
To beat his ass into a little bloody pulp.
Right. Towards the end, a couple of guys went up to him, and they were rather reserved from what I saw. Because I feel like I have so much fucking anger about other things, and Sage wouldn't even understand. She'd be like, who's this fucking idiot? Like, she wouldn't even know. But there would be other little kids there, and I'd be like, this is the moment
where scary.
I'm going to take out fucking 20 years of aggression on you right now.
It may make things a little bit more scarier as the kids see another man being...
You won't stop hitting him.
It may not be the best course of action.
Right. It would be more for me than for the kids. But, oh, my God, yeah. I'm Pastor Dave. I just want to let y'all know there ain't no Santa Claus.
Because it's all about me.
Right.
Because you have to not only are you telling them about Santa Claus, but you have to preface it by saying who you are.
I'm Pastor Dave. You all know me from the street corner.
And videotape it so he can post it because it's all about him. Mm-hmm. I wish somebody had fucking beat the shit out of him.
Like someone had just dropped something from the upper level onto his neck, like some heavy ornamental thing they just bought with their lawn. Oh, what a jerk off.
Or one of those fucking urns, not urns, like those things that fall on Wile E. Coyote.
Oh, those anvils?
Yeah. They sell them at the mall, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, in their iron working shop.
What do you got going? What plans do you have for Christmas?
Oh, I don't know. Regular Christmas shit. And then I have to leave a couple days later. Me and Ming are doing a convention in Dallas.
What day?
A New Year's.
Oh, he's spending New Year's with half the comic book men?
And New Year's, yeah, I guess. New Year's
Rockin' Eve with Ming and Bry?
Yeah, it's us versus Ryan Seacrest. We're going to see who takes the title this year. I would be surprised if they get Hardwick to do it.
Eventually.
I mean, he does everything else. You can't turn on the TV without seeing Hardwick anymore. You know, he does like little commercials for like Verizon or Fios or something like that. Plus, I find Hardwick way more.
I mean, like, isn't there any room for a buck-toothed fucktard?
Sure, right here, baby, right at the Tom Steve Dave table.
Is this the only place? This is the only place that'll have me? Is this the poker table?
Yeah, December 15th, Rockin' Eve.
So you're just going to spend it with your mom and dad's? Up at your mom and dad's? I don't mean just, but is that?
No, you can say just.
Oh, because that's perfect.
Yeah, normally what I do, I'll probably do the same thing I did for Thanksgiving, although it's going to be cold. Like, you know, they have a outdoor, like a backyard outdoor fire pit. I normally just blaze a big fire and hang out there because it's the house. If there's more than a couple people, I get too antsy. I don't like being in groups and people want to talk to you about dumb stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's probably what we'll end up doing. And then if I didn't do the con, I was like, maybe I'll go somewhere for a couple days, you know, but now at this
Where's the con
thing, it's in Dallas. Yeah.
And about you, Q, what do you got? Any special Christmas plans?
I took a pill yesterday because I needed a little bit.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
It's been getting better. I've been getting better. I'm doing it.
I will be spending it at home, where that's where it should be spent, and looking forward to it.
Did you ask for anything special?
Did I ask for anything special? I don't think so. I think there's just a couple hardcovers that I've been looking for. And
my mother always puts the onus on the people. What do you want for Christmas?
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that because
I don't feel like thinking about it.
Yeah, but they're like, I don't know what this fucking idiot wants.
Right. My mother's confided in you. I asked him. He won't tell me.
I can unsympathize with both sides on that. Like nobody wants to give the real thing they want, and nobody actually wants to try to figure out what the perfect gift is. They'd much rather just be like, he's good with a gift card, right?
Right.
Let's just get him a gift card.
Yeah, the one thing that I was like, hey, this would be pretty cool. I looked and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking way too much. Like tickets. And I normally never go to like any shows, like a Broadway show.
Oh yeah?
But there's this, it was from the Nick Kroll show. It was this little bit they used to do called the Oh Hello Show with,
it's on Broadway?
Yeah. And it's, Nick Kroll and, John Mulaney. They play these characters, Gil Faison and George St. Geegland. Mm-hmm. They're really fucked up. It's really, they're weird characters. And I liked them a lot. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. They're on Broadway. Oh. Seats are fucking $500.
I just went to a Broadway show.
What'd you guys say?
I don't know if you call it Broadway.
Did you see Q there? did you big time him?
I don't think he'd be at this show though. No? I went to see the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the musical at the Felt Forum, Madison Square Garden.
Oh boy,
it was good.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good. They had like a 20-foot tall Bumble. That was made like, it was like mechanicalized.
Like animatronic?
Well, they had like little sticks that they have men with these big sticks that they use to move his arms.
Right.
And they push him around. And they had the reindeers could fly, which they had people dressed up as the reindeers. And, when they're singing a song, they're hooked up to like wires and shit. And
right.
And they throw them out in front of the crowd, and it was good. I had a good time. Expensive, though, like you said. It was a very expensive and pricey afternoon.
Yeah. Oh, it cost a bunch. Well, you got 4 pit. Now are your kids excited to go?
Alicia was. My 18-year-old, shockingly, was like, I'm not going to that. I'm not going to see Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm like, why? Why? What's wrong with you, Mrs. Too Old for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Yeah, I'm not too old. Look at me. Look how old I am. I was the oldest person at a concert the other night.
So I could not convince her to go, so she did not go. But, me, my wife, and...
really? She's just flat out like, fuck
She's like,
that.
I'm not going to that.
You're a little girl. Oh, God, it has to be fucking so hard, dude.
Oh, it is. But I also, every time, though, I get that feeling of like, I cannot believe this. And like, this is bullshit. I'm like, can you imagine my mom being like, when I'm 18, I'm a senior. And she's like, we're going to this Root of the Red-Nosed Reindeer thing in the city, and you're going.
Yeah, be sure to get your favorite football player's fucking number etched in your skull because you obviously are brain damaged.
It wouldn't have happened. So I gotta always think about like what I was doing at 18, and I give her that level of same level of respect in terms of like, I can't be upset that she doesn't want to go to it. I wish she did, but I can't be upset about it.
Even Sage at this age, she's 10. She'll be 11 in February, which to me is like, with every year, I'm like, this is getting weirder and weirder. That she's getting so big and so old, you know. When she was young and we'd drive around, she'd be like, every time she saw Christmas lights, Dada, look lights, Dada, lights. Yeah, now she doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, she's like looking at her iPad or whatever. And I remember when we were young, we would drive around looking at lights, and maybe 13 or 14, I expressed maybe some slight disinterest in.
We've heard this story.
Yes, and the rage. Like, there was no like understanding Flanagan type. You know what? If I was this age, blah blah blah. It's like, fine, then we'll go home, and like racing like 60 miles an hour down surface streets, like just because we're so unappreciative. But it's just like, bro, come on, like update the game a little. Like, what the fuck? Like, you want us to do the same shit at 14 that we did when we were 6 or 7? That was big, though. That was like one of the few nights a year we would go out to eat. Like, we rarely went out to like, now it's like, that's all you do is go out to eat or have somebody deliver shit.
I am blessed, though, that Alicia is, I want to say that she's definitely not immature. I've never ever once thought of either one of my girls as immature. They felt like they had like sarcasm down at like 4. Mm-hmm. And and they've never been immature, and they've always looked at other kids when we've been out in situation where there's been other kids, and other kids act like other kids do. And I see them looking at, when they would look at those kids like, what the fuck is with this kid?
Right.
Like, why is he crying? Like, why is this kid acting like why is this 4-year-old acting like a 4-year-old? Yeah. They look at me like, what's wrong with these kids? They've always been very, very mature for their age. But Alicia has, I don't know whether it's the artistic side of her, but she appreciates like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer for more than, she's enjoying it
just
on another
mindless
level.
Entertainment.
She's looking at it as the art direction. She's looking at it as the costuming. She's looking at it as like the effects that they use. So she's enjoying it on a level, at least where she's getting enjoyment. She's not just doing it because, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It's something to do.
Yeah, she can see a different facet to what we're doing, but Caitlin doesn't care.
What is she into? Like, what is she, Caitlin? Like, what are
she into?
Like, what are her? She have hobbies? She does. So she's just always on the computer.
She likes, not always, but I mean, yeah, it's hard to tell what an 18-year-old's into.
Right, because they don't talk to
clothes.
You. What?
It seemingly clothes. That's all she seems to like.
Oh, she likes to go shopping for clothes.
Christmas list was all about clothes and makeup.
Clothes and makeup, huh?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Alicia is almost the same exact thing, but she'll ask for art supplies like canvas and certain paints.
Does that make you prouder?
Why? Because art?
Well, yeah, because. Well, it definitely seems like, I'm not saying that clothes and makeup are shallow. It's definitely like age appropriate type stuff.
Yeah.
But you're like, she's younger, and it's something a little less superficial than, hey, the way I'm going to look for fucking whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't deny like if she wants something for, she's looking for some sort of art tool or whatever, or some sort of art thing that she needs to do. Yeah, I'm not going to poo-poo and be like, you don't need that. Mm. I'll definitely support it. And not just because it's art, but like she does music too, and
right. How's she doing with the guitar?
Guitar, yeah, she likes it. She plays guitar. Yeah,
look at her go, man.
Yeah, Caitlin doesn't. Yeah, I don't know if she doesn't. She doesn't have interest in instruments or art, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, some late bloomers. Look at me. You got a female Bri in your hands.
Yeah, I mean, she may have. I mean, she just doesn't voice them, though.
Yeah.
to me, when I looked at the Christmas list that she gave us, it was makeup and
You're like, I don't know what any of this shit is. Shoes.
Yeah.
Expensive shoes like Louis Vuitton.
Not that expensive, in line with like what you wouldn't be like, absolutely not.
Right.
No, she's at least
She's reasonable.
Yeah, not out of touch with like, well, I deserve these. No.
Right. You know what you should get her? I mean, it may not be on her list.
Omaha steaks?
Yeah. Is she into steaks? No. Is she into, let's see. Is she, this would be good for her actually, because teenagers love their privacy, right?
Definitely, right?
Yeah. So why not get her a ring that she could put like on her door? Like one of the
bedroom door?
Yeah. So, like, she can see who it is. Like, maybe if it's Alicia, she wants to talk to her, but she sees you fucking, like, fish-eyed looking.
Can I come in?
Yeah, you're like, it's me, Daddy Fucktard. What are you doing in there? Yeah, she could either say yay or nay. Let's see, ring. We all know what it is, right? It's a doorbell that you can use the app and you can look at people and shit and say, like, okay, it's somebody I want in my house. It's somebody I don't want in my house. It's somebody I want to try to pretend I'm not home. What do you got? And the kit includes a Ring video doorbell for the front door, a Ring stick-up cam, the wireless weatherproof HD camera. Q, you got one of these, right? You love it.
They asked if I was white, and that was the only question.
Wow. There you go.
Nice.
I've never heard such an endorsement. Host, please share how this can help you or someone you love. All right.
Interested?
First off, I would have to think of someone that I love that could use. Merry Christmas, Sage. Here's a Ring doorbell for you. For limited time, listeners to this podcast will get up to $150 off a Ring of Security kit. Go to ring.com/TESD now. It is pretty good. It's a pretty good idea. It's like one of those things where like, God damn, I wish I thought of it.
Yeah, the guy who invented the Ring is never going to have to work ever again, I don't think.
No, he does. But they always do, right? Like these guys, these entrepreneur types, they're constantly like, they'll make something and then it'll make a whole bunch of money and then they sell it.
And then they'll sell it to it and then they'll try to sink it into find the next Ring.
Yeah.
And then they blow all their money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so look out. Listen up, Mr. Ring. Be smart.
You ready? Is that it?
I guess that's it for this week. And then what do we got? Let's see. 7 days from now is what, the 26th? So maybe we'll have one more show before Christmas.
Well, that's we'll see. It's a busy week next week, right?
It is.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe.
Never so busy that I can't come over here and do the show.
I also want to say about, obviously a different dynamic today.
Mm-hmm. Better dynamic, I'd say.
An outpouring, just an absolute outpouring of support and positive vibes after last week's episode. It's pretty apparent that people who listen to TSD love it more than people who listen and hate it. There's no denying that. I mean, I had to wade through the love fest for Q that's out there.
Right, you were hip deep.
Even though I asked, I'm not interested in why he's the greatest thing on earth. People didn't care. I mean, that's a testament.
Like you're going to listen.
Testimonial as to how much people love Q that they even defied my directions.
Yeah. Like, fuck you, Walt.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how
fuck
much.
Fuck you, fucktard. I'm not going to listen to some bucktooth.
You've got no sway over me, fucktard.
I'm actually not going to say unfuckable. I think that's too harsh. I'm going to go with unlovable. Sounds a lot less. It sounds a lot. It puts a better spin on it, doesn't it?
I mean, you know what? I think it's the hard consonants that make unfuckable sound so like, oh my God. That like people think that of me, but really unlovable is so much worse.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. Is it? It sounds so much. It sounds so much more. Unlovable means that you might just be like grouchy and.
I'm taking it in the strictest way, where it's like no one could possibly love you because of the person you are. Unfuckable is based on because there's no it's purely subjective. Like you can't, like you could go to, unless you're like fucking the Elephant Man and you go to a prostitute, somebody's going to be like, look, the dude's unfuckable. He looks like the Elephant Man. I mean, you could always pay somebody to fuck you. There's always someone just as bad off as you are.
Do you know how awesome the TSD listeners are? I had 2 dudes email me and be like, I'm not gay. I want to get this out of the way right now. I'm not gay. But you're totally not unfuckable. They are so concerned that I may be upset by it that they're like, they're going to email a stranger and, and preface it with like, I'm not gay. But I want to let you know that
Look,
you're
no
not.
homo. No homo here.
And that is why we got a pretty special listener base.
They're awesome, right?
I remember writing back and I've been like, I don't know if I should be happy about this compliment or thank you, but I'll just thank you for listening.
Right.
Because I'm going to ignore that other.
You should just write back like, you sound gay to me.
No, that's amazing, and that's a listener base that is like, oh my God, the guys I listen to are sad. I don't want them to be sad. That's pretty cool. And Q, you should stop feeling sad for yourself too. I mean,
yeah, buck up there.
Everybody loves you.
I'm so quiet.
Tell him, Steve, Dave.
This has been a production of Smodco Internet Radio. Sir, only at smodcast.com.